JB here. Hope everyone's doing outstanding. June 16th, 3:14 on this fine Monday. Talk really quick about the market. Some names I'm looking at go from the S&P up about 0.8% off the highs, but still the SPY's up here at 602 on the heels of World War III, right? It's not war and conflict is certainly, especially ones that result in loss of life, is not something to be just a joke about or take lightly. So I'll take it with a grain of salt. I mean, it's serious. Any conflict in the world. It's I'm not. I'm just. I'm not trying to uh, minimize it, right? But more or less, I'm minimizing what the headlines and the bears and perma bears have been spewing for the last 96 hours or however long it's been. That another round of financial Armageddon's coming, right? Market's going to drop 20%, or oil's going to spike to 130. Uh, Other countries are going to be brought into the conflict. The U.S. is secretly shooting down things, and then it's to me, it's like almost like a hurricane that's forming in the Pacific or the Atlantic Ocean, and all the weather people they drool at their mouth because they know that they're going to get lots of clicks, right? I mean, that's their job, to get the clicks. So, I'm not saying to dismiss this event, but I posted my thoughts yesterday, talked about them this morning, and it's kind of, I think this how these things are going to play out. Israel's going to finish off what they're doing, get rid of the capabilities of Iran, and then move on. And if Iran continues to poke at Israel or the international community, there'll probably be more repercussions. But I think that's how it's going to end. And you can kind of see the market reflecting that a little bit. Oil prices are lower. You have people who the gold bugs love war, right? It's good for gold. So gold's down 1.5%, and then just hopefully the market can find some footing. Right now the G7 is starting, so you had uh, POTUS was talking with Carney from Canada. They were doing a quick press conference, and Carney goes, "Okay, enough questions," because everybody's peppering Trump about questions outside of what this G7 conference is about. So we'll have to see how everything plays out. Tomorrow morning we have retail sales data, so that'll certainly be important, especially with tariffs. I mean, again, the bears are all waiting for this data that's going to come out that's going to show that the economy has been in a recession for the last 3 months, right? I mean, that's what they've been saying. Uh, so to me, I was saying this morning in the rant that even if it's a hint under expectations, and we're supposed to be negative, right? So the retail sales is supposed to be in about 0.6% to the negative side. So if it comes in less than that, -1%, -1.5%, I actually don't think it's too bad, I think, because it kind of gives the Fed a little ammo to maneuver, right? To possibly to finally raise to cut rates as opposed to just staying the course. And then tomorrow, of course, then Wednesday is the big one, Fed Chair Powell, and we'll see how things get spun. I talked about it this morning, or at least on the watch list as well. My new my new trading range was 586, 597 on the SPY for the last couple weeks. Coming into last week, then was 597 to 604, and now I just up it up a little bit, 606. So we came all the way up to 604 at about 10:30. We're back here about 602, so maybe a little bit of chop. And then there's not much in the way of catalysts outside of what's going on with these geopolitical tensions. So I think as that kind of gets resolved, maybe that adds a little fuel to the markets, or at least holds its ground. And maybe the SPY can end the week on highs, at all-time highs. That'd be phenomenal. There's things that I always think about, right? So, I mean, how many walls of worry have been climbed so far this year? I mean, I keep talking about the deep seek, the tariffs. You have World War III, just all these different events that have happened, and you're like, and the market's still climbing a wall of worry. To me, like, I think the big event, and we saw it with CrowdStrike last year, was if there's some kind of severe major hack, right? I mean, to wake up the morning and you see like just one little glitch cause all these airlines to not be able to fly. I mean, that's the thing that would keep me up at night, right? I'm not saying World War III, of course, that would keep me up too, but these geopolitical kind of tit for tat things, uh, I wouldn't say tit for tat. I hate to dismiss again. I want to diminish what's going on, but to me, like some kind of hack of the energy system that takes power down in a state, in a country, and things like that. Just those are the things that uh, the that would be somewhat of a black swan. All right, hopefully, knock on wood, that's not anywhere in the near future for now. All right, so just individual names. So I don't know. I have Solar Edge here first, but uh, still holding up here. Third time its charm. 2260, of course, was the due. Comes all the way down. Tests 2260 at 1 o'clock. Bounces back into the, well, actually, it's flat right now. Considering oil prices are down, maybe kind of dismisses its rally on Friday that, or at least the thought that maybe the rally on Friday was due to oil prices going up. So holds its ground here, still it's trending in the right direction. I think if it can hold up here today, I think it's headed to over 25 in the coming days. I was looking to lock the rest of my 30s in. I'll just continue to hold those, and then the July strikes that on Friday. Um, then Roku, right? So great news with Amazon this morning in regards to being integrated and those two platforms coming together. Similar, Roku has a partnership with TTD, but it's a little different. Stock spiked, and I think some of it's, of course, a function of the name Amazon. Another is that Roku platform is going to have 80, 90, 100 million more eyes on it. But supposedly, and I think some of the reason why it didn't gap and run right at the open, or at least after the open, you have some analysts coming out saying, "Oh, maybe it's not starting out to the fourth quarter of this year. It's going to be slow progressing, not accretive to revenues and earnings and things like that, at least short term." But to me, like the market, it's a forward looking pricing mechanism, right? So it's to me, the Roku is going to be trading higher before that all gets taken into its pockets, right? On Friday, this was not baked into the stock. So I still like this. I was actually looking to get the like July hundreds, but it looks like they report earnings. I have to go and do the historicals, but I think they report more or less at the end of July. So I'll wait for the dust to settle. If it has continuation tomorrow, I'll look to add some more strikes. But I was able to get some of my lottos I added last week out for nearly 100% to cover costs. I'll just hold those into tomorrow. My thoughts there on Roku, so I'm not going to go too much. And then I got Dell, and I was watching last week. I almost pulled the trigger to add some more strikes, and then finally today it started to break into the green in the morning. I went and got some weekly strikes, able to close some of those out to cover costs for 100% or near. It was off by a cent. I try normally, so market makers play games, right? So sometimes when I put limits in, I don't if I put them at an even number, or if I put them, I feel like sometimes they undercut me, right? So I went and put them at 49 cents. But take a look at a tight pincher, right? And so tight pincher means there's been a tug of war. At some point, that's going to resolve, and typically it's a large resolving move, right? It'll be a larger, and of course, I'm biased to the upside, so I think it's headed substantially higher. So not only that, it's earnings. It was kind of like, how is this? How did it not rally post earnings? I thought it should be trading into the 130s, 140s, and it gave it all the way back and traded nearly down to $100. So really like this setup. I mean, it is a shortened trading week. Don't forget, markets closed Thursday, so you got to kind of pretend that right now this is like Tuesday at 3 o'clock, and trade accordingly. And then just some other names here. Joby's up, but I would really like to see more follow through here today. It's still holding nine. Well, it was over $9 just a little while ago. Still looking to add some October strikes on that one. Same with Serve here. It's up 3% here, but not enough. I would like to see more. Still think this heading $15. I'll be patient. Maybe tomorrow's the day. Add some more strikes there. Uh, Reddit. Well, I mean, big move today, 7%. I mean, relative, right? So it's really not a big move relative to what Reddit moves on a daily basis. But to see some follow through finally held up morning gains, and I guess they're unveiling two more AI supported ad tools. I don't think that's the catalyst for the move, but I take it for what it is. That's what the headlines say. I was looking at maybe the 140s. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one finally, like it feels like once the straps are cut, the market maker, once the sellers are gone, like it's just going to take off. It's going to be 145, 150, 155. So I was tempted to grab some here today. It's just the premiums look expensive on a risk reward basis. Maybe tomorrow that's a name I visit. Same with W, out of the 50 strikes, thankfully, Monster, well, at least a decent trade. I still watching this one for some upside. And same with Lemonade. The fact that it's still over $40, I think that bodes well. And, I compare, and I hate to use comparisons because it's not apples to apples, orange to orange kind of situation. But when you look at Lemonade, it reminds me kind of like of the him scenario. It took a long time for that to really start to get going. Huge short interest, a lot of folks fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I keep bringing up some of the bear case on HIMS when it was $20. I used to see everybody talking about the ads and the compounded GLP-1s and all this other stuff, and all those didn't pan out. If anything, the reverse situations panned out. So that's that. Also, it feels like it's kind of like junk. I would say penny stock running day. I wouldn't even call it penny stock, but stocks under $5. One of my old favorites, Carlytics running. You have iRobot running again today. Beyond Meat's up another 7%. So I don't know if this is one of those kind of like shorts taking things off kind of day. I tough to read into. VKTX is up nearly 3% here today, but none of that matters till it breaks 30 bucks. And I think that's it, folks. Let's have a great afternoon. I'll be back rock and roll.